When people think of the West, they think of outlaws facing down the town sheriff in the streets. While this never occurred as it did in the movies, the types of characters portrayed in these scenes were often more real than fiction. In Carbon County, we had one such legendary sheriff. His name was Rubie Rivera. Rivera was originally from Los Angeles but came out to Wyoming and Carbon County when he was 18 years old. Rubie immediately jumped headfirst into the ranching culture of Wyoming. He took a job as a ranch hand and bronco buster. Also, Rubie Rivera was physically strong. He used his strength and toughness to take jobs as a bodyguard and bouncer from time to time. Eventually, this caught the eye of Rollins law enforcement. Rivera was offered a job for the open Rollins jailer position. It was in this job that he honed his craft for a career in law enforcement. In 1912, Rivera made his indelible mark on the county by successfully getting elected as sheriff. What made Rivera so successful as a sheriff was his ability to track down several notable criminals. One such fugitive was William Wild Bill Carlisle. William Carlisle is sometimes referred to as the last great train robber or the Robin Hood of the rails. Carlisle had been riding the rails as a hobo from the time he was 17 and was getting desperate. In 1916, he robbed his first train with a toy pistol. During the robbery, he tipped a guard and even gave $1 to one of the stewards for his breakfast. Carlisle would go on to rob 2 more trains in the region and exhibited the same restraint against passengers and railroad employees. Sheriff Rivera was called upon to help track down Carlisle and bring him to justice. In a famous photo outside the Carbon County Courthouse in Rollins, Sheriff Rivera poses with the captured train robber. These weren't the only criminals that Rivera was able to hunt down and bring back to Rollins for justice. Going back to 1915, Rivera found murderer Reed Harless in Idaho. Harless had killed a young man named Nick Stevens. Rivera also found Tom Taylor, who was a notorious horse thief in the county, and brought him back to the county courthouse as well. Then, in 1918, after escaping the Wyoming State Penitentiary, Carlisle was once again on the run. Rivera was asked to be part of the posse that found the train robber and now escaped convict. During the pursuit, Carlisle was shot. Rivera remained with him as he convalesced and returned him to Carbon County to once again go back to prison. Carlisle would eventually be paroled in the 1930s and would go on to marry and open a gas station in Kemmerer, Wyoming, and work around Laramie as well. He would also be a promoter of westerns, which were becoming an extremely popular genre in media at the time. After his terms as sheriff ended, Rubie Rivera would become part owner of the Continental Sheep Company and even as a special agent for the Union Pacific. The sheep industry would prove to be extremely profitable for the region. Sheriff Rivera is the embodiment of what good law enforcement officers should be. He was well respected and embraced the community. The new exhibit at the Carbon County Museum, called Law Enforcement and Justice, features Rubie Rivera's story as well as objects he used during his life. Not only does it feature how law enforcement evolved in this region, but looks toward the present and future of policing the vast open spaces of rural Wyoming. Thank you for watching this video from the Carbon County Museum. We hope to see you soon. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like and a comment.